you to hear your heart, 'cause that's how you stay on par. Oh, yeah. No need to raise the bar when you're feeling low. Oh, you gotta breathe, 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 breathe. Let it go and let it be.
All you got to do is breathe. Everybody come on in. It is Wellness Wednesday, and it is time for the Own Your Now show. I am your host, Tracy Berry McGee, also known as Divine T.
And I'm your co-host. I'm her co-host, Yolanda Langford. And you know they call me Lady Yo.
Lady Yo.
Tracy, I crack up every single episode when you say,
Divine T.
I love it. I love it. I love it. How are you?
I'm good. I am so good. It feels so good outside. A little humid, but I'm really feeling this breeze. What do you think?
Let me tell you something. Normally I get up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I walk. And today I got up and I thought, this is a nice little breeze. And I was enjoying myself. I was still sweating, but it was nice. The breeze was definitely nice. And I got out a little later than I normally do. So I was a little like, oh my gosh, should I get out?
Yeah.
And I'm glad I did. How about you, Tracy? Did you enjoy today?
I did. I thought I was going to sleep in, but I went ahead and got on up, and I had a lot of things going on. And but I got
a lot of good things going on.
We have a lot of good things going on. Everybody's coming in. I want you all to come on in because it's time for the wellness shout outs. But Lady O, I had to get up early yesterday to get to the polls, and I'm so glad that it's over because all that mail and the phone calls we were getting, it
was something, wasn't it? It was definitely something. But I say, you know, it's funny because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to get out and vote. Maybe I won't. But we are our ancestors' dreams.
Right. That's right.
And take that opportunity. Pick one person on your family tree and honor them and vote. And it's so very important. And if you have a college student, make sure that they fill out the proper paperwork to be able to vote in November.
They better, because if they don't, we're going to lose. So we need everybody.
Hold on, wait. I don't even say that word.
We need everybody to come out.
Hey, what's our girl? She said everybody. St. Louis versus everybody. Washington, D.C. versus everybody. Houston versus everybody. We have to call our girl. She need to make T-shirts for everybody. What's her name?
Lily.
That's right. Our cousin Lily. She needs to make T-shirts that say everybody versus so-and-so to vote.
I'm going to call her on that tonight. We're going to make sure that that's a great T-shirt. The other thing that I am really excited about is the fact that school is starting back. And so any of you all that have children, my grandson starts kindergarten this year. Amir's starting kindergarten. But we got some great guests coming on today. So if anybody that's out there, it's time for you all to hit the share button and make sure that you tell somebody that they need to tune in because we have some really great resources. Lady O, what's in your cup? What you sipping on?
Let me tell you. So it's kind of crazy. You know, I love to cook. So today I said, I'm going to make some old-fashioned rib tips.
What?
And some peach tea. Sweet.
When I thought about old-fashioned rib tips, I thought about the old-fashioned drink. And I'm thinking, did she put some like...
No, you know what? Let me tell you something though. Old-fashioned rib tips take a little wine. You got to put a little wine in the mix. But it was the barbecue and I made some potatoes. And I said, you know, that sounds like something summerish. So summer-ish. Is that a word? Y'all let me know. Summer-ish. And so I made some peach tea with some fresh peaches I had. And let me tell you something. It's some kind of delish.
Man, I bet it is. That sounds good. It really does.
What you sipping on, Tracy?
Well, everybody else, let us know what y'all sipping on. I seen Joan is in the house, and Robert, what are you sipping on? Man, Alicia Patterson is. We got a lot of great people connecting. Tracy's in the house. What y'all sipping on? Look, because it's kind of cool outside. Yesterday, I got home. My husband was sitting outside smoking a cigar, and he had coffee ready. And normally we have coffee during the mornings, but we've been drinking coffee in the evening. So
That's right.
shirt on, black, no sugar, no cream. And I got my coffee with my Empoweranista cup. Can you see that?
I do see it because that's who you are. Tracy, you have been on a roll. If everyone in the audience, if you want to find out where Tracy is, follow her. She has a list of states, cities, and countries.
Follow us, because we got so many exclusives coming up. Y'all heads are going to be turned. So just wait and see. Just wait and see, because that's
and we're thankful. We are so thankful for all of you who have followed us through and to our journey. I was just saying out loud, because sometimes when you say things out loud, you think, oh, wow, wait a minute. Tracy, when we started at 0 followers,
2019,
and God has blessed us to 8.8 plus thousand followers on the road to 10,000.
On the road.
It is just amazing, and we're thankful for everyone.
And it's just like when people ask you, if you're from St. Louis, what is your favorite Chinese restaurant? There's no billboard for it. It's word of mouth. And we have our followers organically. Speaking of followers, Robert says, I love rib tips on bread and potato salad. Oh, he said, just like C&K. You remember C&K, Lady O?
I do not. I'm 314-ish.
Well, C&K was on Martin Luther King, I believe. Right, Robert? And they had some good barbecue. They did. They really did. Alicia says she's sipping on bottled water, but wishing it was a mojito. Okay. I went to this restaurant in Clayton. It was called Boho, something, Bao, whatever. Y'all might have heard of it.
Yes, Bao,
something like that. Yeah, because they have some good stuff.
The Bao breads.
Yes, that's good. But they have a happy hour or like cocktails in the evening. Yo, we need to pop up there, and everybody meet us. Yes. Robert sipping on grape soda. Sun Kids grape soda. All right. Let's see. Joan says she's sipping on some lemonade and pomegranate juice. I wonder if that mixed together.
Is that a personal mix, Joan, or is something you bought?
That's it. I want to know. Tracy, she said green tea with papaya. So for those of you, Lady O, you probably already know this. As important it is for us to drink water. You always everything with water. My water is empty right now. But I heard that if you're not a big water drinker, that you could just drink green tea. Not just drink green, but that's a good substitute. I'm assuming not with papaya, though, like straight green tea, right?
And you know what? I'll say this to anyone. Just sip on something. If you're not a straight water drinker, put a little lemon in it, put some peaches in it. If you can't do water, do the tea, because that is consistency of mainly water. And you can get decaf tea, but get some water in your system, because it definitely is what our body makeup is. And it does. Back in the day, though, Tracy though made me laugh. So during my farm days, our dairy farmers' slogan was, milk does a body good.
Milk does a body good. All right. And the thing about it is, I don't even drink a lot of milk. I don't drink my coffee, but I couldn't get with the milk. I really could.
It's funny because when I went back home about a month ago, it was like, oh my goodness, just being in that element. I think I drank way more milk, and I came back feeling a little nostalgic. So I've been drinking a lot of milk. In our country life, warm milk at night helped you go to sleep.
That's right. Yeah, my grandmama said some beer and butter made her go to sleep. But speaking of going to sleep, I remember getting ready for school and going to sleep early and getting my book bags together and our lunch box. I didn't have a book bag because the teachers supplied everything. They don't do that nowadays, lady.
So for me, I'm like, we had a desk and all our books were in our desk. We didn't take anything home.
True.
And it's so different now, even with my niece living with us, and she had her computer. I was like, oh my goodness, wow. So I asked, and now I asked my granddaughter, hey, do you have homework? She's like, no, Yayo.
Like, oh, have homework? They don't have homework. Amir says, I don't have homework, Yaya. I do my work at school. But we have to get all the supplies. And that's why these book fairs, these back to school events are so important. And that's the different foundations are so important. And speaking of so important, who do we have coming on the show today?
Let me tell you something. I want to introduce to the world our sister, Buffy Dillon, who has the DeJuan Dillon Foundation, and she is out in the community. We have been blessed that she started with us in the beginning when we were in our beginning of we were only on Facebook, and she said yes to us, and we always say yes to her. Please bring up the one and only Buffy Dillon.
Buffy.
Hey, ladies, how you doing?
We are fabulous, and girl, you are fabulous too.
Thank you guys so much. And yes, we go way back, and it has been a pleasure. You guys have been so good to me, and it's so good to be able to call you guys my sisters.
Well, you know, we know you know how we roll, so we got to ask you, what's in your cup? What are you sipping on?
Well, I have to turn my cup around and let you guys know what my cup says, okay? That's the first of all, okay? And what's in my cup actually is pineapple vest soda, actually.
All right.
I don't drink a lot of soda, and so when I do treat myself, I'll sometimes have a pineapple vest or a grape vest or something like that. So today I treated myself, but I had to put it in my Own Your Now cup.
I love it.
So,
you know, I'm over here almost, I want to turn my seat around. I love it. Because let me tell you something. It's something about some people who've been rocking with you, us, from the beginning.
Yes.
From the beginning. She always says yes to us. We always say yes to her.
Yes.
And let me tell you something. I want her to tell the world about what she is doing for our kids. Buffy, tell us about how your foundation started.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my foundation started actually 10 years ago. August 1st, my husband's been gone 11 years. And it started in honor of my late husband, DeJuan Dillon. He passed of colon cancer at 39. We basically were happy in love and pretty much having a salon in Spanish Lake, as well as several other businesses. And my husband basically came down with a stomach ache one day that he could not shake. We went to the emergency room. They gave him something to move his bowels. And within 6 days, we went back to the emergency room because he came down with the stomach ache again that he just couldn't shake. So this time they kept him in the emergency room and told him that they wanted to basically keep him in the hospital, run some more tests on him, and, you know, basically look a little bit more invasive. So within 6 days, our lives went from A to Z. Kept him in the hospital, as we said, looked a little bit more invasive. And then when they opened him up, he was at stage 4 colon cancer. Gave him 6 months to live. And with that, they gave him a little bit of chemo, and it didn't work because it was too far gone and it had metastasized throughout his body. So we brought him home, and he survived 9 months and treated him like the king that he was. And I promised him that I would never let the world forget his name. And so with that, he and I had started giving back in the Spanish Lake community together and started having an annual school supply giveaway. So I wanted to continue that tradition, as well as make sure that we also made as many people that suffered with colon cancer, as well as made sure that we spread colon cancer awareness and help people with suffering with colon cancer, and wherever my heart led me, and helped as many people as I can before I close my eyes.
You it's something about a legacy. I want to know, what month is Colon Cancer Awareness Month? Because I lost my dad to colon cancer, as well as my grandmother at 56. So I know it's something that runs in our family. But what month is colon cancer awareness?
June.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So everyone Buffy is bringing the information to us and the awareness to us, but June, we are going to highlight that information. But what I love about you, Buffy, is you have taken what some people would have said, oh my gosh, I'm just going to sit back. Because I know your personal story of Buffy had never been married before. She found the love of her life, and she was like, let's do this thing. And then this tragedy happened, but you turned a tragedy into triumph for our community. Talk to us about what you're bringing to our community and how you're shining the light on who your great, wonderful, loving husband is. And I didn't say was, is.
Well, like I said, I wanted to make sure that I kept the tradition of what we started together, and that's our school supply giveaway and helping the Spanish Lake community, but also making sure that we spread colon cancer awareness, as well as making sure that we help people that are suffering with colon cancer with resources and help as many as my heart can lead me to. So me and the Juan Dillon Colon Cancer Foundation team, we are helping as many as we can. And if we're not having an event, we're helping as many other organizations by spreading their cause. So we volunteer as much as we can with other organizations. The event that we have coming up on August 11th that you guys are graciously letting me talk about, that is our annual back to school bash. And so it will be at the North County Rec Complex on Redmond Avenue, 2577 Redmond Avenue. And it's going to be on August 11th, that's Sunday, from 12 to 3 p.m. and everyone's invited. So it'll be a day of fun, free everything. So we have vendors, entertainment, free food, inside and outside activities. It will be a lot of fun for the adults also, so not just for the kids. And we're going to have from teeth cleaning, vision screening. Cardinal Glennon is bringing out their helicopter. The Own Your Now Wellness Mobile is coming out. We'll have St. Louis County Bookmobile there, Spanish Lake Fire Department there, face painting, bounce houses. We're just going to have a lot of things that will basically be for the children and the adults, education, resources, and just a day of good, of a lot of smiles for everybody, And in addition to that, we're going to give them backpacks full of school supplies.
Say that again.
And so just, something for everybody. You will leave there fulfilled. And, I want to say that my affirmation word for the day is abundance.
Yes. Speak to the fact that this is not the first time you've done this, because people don't realize. I looked up, y'all got shuttles and everything. Y'all got everything that think about that they need.
Yeah, this is our 14th year. My husband and I did it for 3 years together, and we have continued from then on, of course. And we have shuttles providing transportation to and from the event. So if you can't get your own ride there, we'll bring you there. And we have 3 locations, one in Glasgow Village, one from Hazelwood East High School, and one from my salon, No Limit Hair Care in Spanish Lake. We'll also be providing haircuts provided by Craig Black Community Cuts for Kids. He joins me every year. So, I mean, we got something for everybody there. There's no reason with all of the school supply giveaways that are going on in St. Louis and Illinois that your child should miss out on having the resources they need to go back to school. It's too many going on all around St. Louis and Illinois that your child should have some of the things that they need to go back to school.
And you know what, Buffy, I want to say, I love that about you. Not only are you promoting what you're doing, but you're saying, hey, we as a community are helping to provide everything your child needs.
Yes.
You just have to come out. And ladies and gentlemen, It's FREE.
Everything.
That's it.
Everything. And we're even giving you the transportation to get there. It can't get any
love
easier
that.
than that. You know, I mean, now I can't come wake you up out your bed. Don't get me wrong. But
Right. Like,
I mean, but if giving you a ride there, all you got to do is get to those 3 places. Like I said, Glasgow Village, Hazelwood East High School, or my salon, No Limit Hair Care. We have it posted on all social media platforms. Everybody's sharing it. So thank you, the public, all my friends, family, people I don't even know. Thank you all for sharing it, spreading the word, you know, letting everybody that you can know about it. You know, we are definitely expecting a nice crowd, and don't worry, the lines are not going to be so long that you guys have to wait a long time. Everything's going to be run efficiently, and everybody's going to have a great day of fun and smiles. The weather's going to be beautiful.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful. It really
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And when she says entertainment, it's young people entertaining. I mean, I tell you, last year I was like, oh my goodness, it was so fabulous.
Dancing.
The young people were organized, and different groups were dancing, different participations in all areas that she is offering. And so I will say to everyone, please, if you are in the St. Louis area, if you hear the sound of our voice in the St. Louis area, this is an opportunity for you to come out and have a great time with your kids, and also get their school supplies.
Yes, that's right.
Now,
and
haircuts.
And haircuts.
Absolutely. I'll also say that, you know, your child has to be present. You can't come in and basically just get backpacks for your child. You do have to bring your child out, you know, to be present, to get a backpack. But if you want to come in as an adult and take advantage of all the different vendors and the different resources that we have, you're more than welcome to come out. But to get a backpack, your child does have to be present.
We got that out. We totally understand it. And you know what? Look for these faces, Tracy.
We're going to be there.
Absolutely.
There. We're bringing Joy out so she can, if you all haven't experienced Joy, please come out. The I Define Me Wellness Mobile will be there. We'll be giving out period packs and journals and all kind of cool things, because we support each other.
Yes.
Here. Yes. We look at Auntie Cynthia says St. Louis is so progressive. We really are trying to do the work. It's hard, but we're going to continue to do the work, and we're going to continue to do it together, because
let me tell you something. We say it's hard, but God has prepared us for this. This is our purpose. Some people often ask me, Yolanda, how do you do it? I said, how could I not?
It's God. It's only because of God.
Yes. Only. We talked that earlier back in the green room. We have 2 other guests coming up. You all stay connected. You got to hear them and keep sharing. Buffy, thank you so much. We'll see you this Sunday. And the time again is what time again?
12 to 3 p.m. And thank you guys again for having me. I appreciate you guys, and I love you.
We love you too. And one more time, your affirmation word.
Abundance.
Abundance. Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Abundance. Yes, I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down. See, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to resources, y'all. We're going to keep sharing them. We don't just have resources. We got resources for all the kids. We got resources for the boys. Of course, we got the girls covered. And then we also have Shalisa in the house with the oxygen. What is it called? Oxygen Project. But yes, we also have the art of etiquette. Tell us who's coming up next, Lady O.
We have up next Sean D. Lovins. He is dedicated to educating and uplifting our community. For more than 2 decades, Mr. Lovins has been a leader in business, providing marketing and strategy to individuals and businesses. I'll tell you what, Lovins is committed to giving back to the community, and his co-founder of My Style Matters. There he is, Mr. Sean Lovins.
I love it.
Hello, ladies. Hello. Thank you for having me.
Hello, Mr. Loving.
Good evening. Thank you for saying yes. You know, we're ready to jump right in, because we got to find out all about the art of etiquette. But please share with us what's in your cup. What are you sipping on?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and hit send so it can hit in the chat, but I am sipping on a little bit of Basil Hayden and lemonade.
Okay. Ooh, that's a combo. I like that. I like that. And you see, you got the L for Lovings, okay?
Most definitely. Most definitely.
I'm excited because Tracy knows my name. Tracy personally gave me is Lady O. And part of that is I love people giving thought to etiquette. It's important to learn how to conduct yourself, more importantly, to conduct yourself as a young person, because that carries you through life. Mr. Lovings, and it's so funny because I got to call you Mr. Lovings. Respect. Talk to us about your program and how it started.
All right. Well, let's say I'm going to start this way. I am new to St. Louis, but not new to St. Louis. I'm born and raised here, but I lived in Atlanta for over 27 years. Background, like I said, been in marketing and advertising, as you said, for Upscale magazine. I was over entertainment and fashion and automotive for them. And then when the industry made a shift after 9/11, I went into education and was like, okay, it was just a job. So as a art teacher, I sat and I watched my kids one day. I gave them an assignment doing Thanksgiving, to make just make a place setting, design it any way you want, any characters you want to put on it. So that was the first year. The second year, I did it again, but I looked at it differently as, this is a business. I'm looking at them doing it and they having fun. I said, you know what? I think I'm going to turn this into a business. And I did. And it stemmed from me. Actually, I'm an author also. Here's my book, my style. I mean, not my style, but Mind Your Manners with Mr. Lovings, which was birthed out of my grandmothers who taught me about etiquette and setting the table. So I just shared what my family, what my grandmother taught me with the kids. That's how it all started.
That's it. That's it.
So go ahead, Tracy.
No, I was just thinking he talked about his grandmother. Like, if you don't learn your manners at your grandmother's house, then you just what kind of grandmother did you have?
Well, I had a patient grandmother and a loving grandmother, but at the same time, she instilled, especially during Thanksgiving, that's her favorite holiday. And I was tasked with you setting the table, and it's all in the book. I was nervous as I don't know what to set the table for everyone, but she had already taught me and she trusted me to do it. And I like to say I did a good job. And I'm gonna add this too. And then it carried on to Parkway South. I went to Parkway South, and home ec. I had to set the table and do it. So it stuck with me.
Did he say home ec? Because they don't even have that anymore.
They don't, man. Home ec was the stuff. You know what I'm
saying? And let me tell you, I think home ec and trades should be taught to every student. Mr. Lovings, we talk about etiquette, and most people think, oh, I don't want to be. Talk to us about the art of etiquette and how it can carry you from the basics to when you're interviewing for a employment.
Yeah. Well, one of the most incredible things that people don't get a chance to really move with is the art of etiquette was birthed because I infused art with kids. I infused art with etiquette. So that's how that name came about. I just kind of put those two together because I didn't want to have kids sit there and be antsy and don't want to do it anymore. So I kind of tie art into it. But I have worked with, our high school and some college age kids, Michigan State University. I worked with their children, they're young men, and just exposing them to understanding, you got to move different in different rooms, and you need to be able to understand what that looks like. When you sit down at a table, in our community, we always have this thing called finger foods, hamburgers, chicken, pizza, hot dogs. We eat with our hands. So that whole thing of not eating with utensils became a problem for me, because that's why I watched my kids in the schools. And then I said, you know what? I need to teach you all how to use the utensils. But when it comes to the etiquette of the business place, that's another thing. All right, I'm gonna ask you this here. Imagine going out to I see you at a lot of events, and you look around. Do this for me. Look around at your friends and watch some of them struggle with figuring out which fork they need to use for the salad. I do it all the time. And it's just the funniest thing to watch them not know. So I usually encourage my kids to go home and teach their parents. And that's the fun thing about it. Is that they
Wow.
go home and teach their parents. And another thing, the other art is we're not sitting at the dinner tables together anymore.
I was just about to say that. So
Yeah.
I was about to say, Sean, Mr. Loving. So I was asking our girls, when's the last time you all had family style dining? And the kids told me, they said, Miss McGee, who wants to sit at the table and eat struggle food? And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
Of our kids are struggling. A lot of our families are struggling. And a lot of the kids, they all eat all over the house.
Yeah.
Nobody eats.
Stand it up.
They don't. They just eat wherever. And I remember there was a time where you had your intergenerational family. You may have had like the TV stand, and maybe you had to take a plate to your grandfather or somebody. Right. But everybody said prayers together. Everybody set the table. There was some. Those values are missing. It is.
Absolutely.
And Tracy, it's. I think, and this is just my personal thought about it all, because I grew up on a farm, but every day my mother sat at the table and we ate at 5:30. It may have been struggle food to some people because I can't remember it being anything fancy, but it was taught to me the importance of family, importance of giving thanks for the day that we've lived, and to be able to sit together and converse. So my family, I know Tracy giggles at me all the time. I'm like, girl, I gotta go. I gotta set the table. My family's eating. So I still have those same values. So I encourage parents, even though the kids might think it's a struggle meal, you might sit down with your kids, make a time if you can, and serve whatever you have, because that is a time where they can calm down. You could talk about your day, pray over the fact that you've made it through the day.
Well,
as you opened your eyes.
Even if it's Thanksgiving, because I mean, my mom was she worked. A lot of times I was the latchkey kid. I was home by myself. So I was sitting eating at the table by myself. But the thing that I think is necessary is that they know how to use it. Because even with some of the programs where you have them dress up, they often wonder, like, where am I going to wear a tie? So we have to, exposure is everything. That's one of the biggest things about that I love with my son and with the young men that Sean is working with. I mean, Mr. Lovings is working with, is to be able to expose them to these things. Now, Robert has a question in our chat, and you all can definitely ask questions. He says, I want to know, should you eat a piece of cake with a fork or a spoon?
Well, all right. First of all, let's do this here. If you have the dessert spoon and fork at your table, you should eat it with a fork.
And normally the dessert fork is at the top of your table setting.
Yes. But see, and like the kids, they didn't know what the heck they thought I was eating with a doll, spoon or fork when I had showed them the table, because I have all the utensils, and they're not used to seeing it, because what are they used to? Wrapped up silverware in a napkin, and then they unroll it and they, just sit it on the table. So it's a lot of those restaurants are not prevalent in our community, especially with the kids that I service. So having the opportunity to teach them that teach them in school. I service from actually pre-K through 8th grade, and for them to get the opportunity to do it and then do the work with their little sporks in the cafeteria and to watch them put their napkins in their lap. Because if you're not exposing them to it, how do we expect for them to know what to do? They talk, with their mouth open and, and all that kind of stuff. So, but, exposing them to things now.
Absolutely.
I want to share something with you to help everybody that's watching. I do this all the time. This is one of my signatures. On your left hand, you're going to put up a 4 palm up. 4 palm up. We're not doing bread and butter. Bread plate or the bread or the drink.
Bread and drink.
Put up a 4 palms up. Okay. 2 on the right, palms up. And in the center is the O. So when you put your hands down, the 4 that's palm up on the left stands for the fork. 4 tens or prongs, whichever you want to call them. And then the 2, the longest finger that's closest to the plate, is the knife. the shortest finger that's closest to the knife is a spoon. So when you put it down, you always know where you are, and you always know how to set the table. That's just one of those things to take with you. It's a hand memory thing I like to do with the kids and make them, and they go walk around the school 4 and 2, Mr. Lovins, 4 and 2.
I was just glad you started with the left hand. That's I could do that, lady. I could do the left hand because I'm left-handed.
And it's funny because sometimes I know. I mean, all times I know what to use, but then I'm like, okay, you see so many guys like bread, drink. I do it under the table, and right. There we go. And it's crazy because it's not just kids. I had recently, probably like a month ago, a lady said to me, "So which one is mine?" I looked at her and I whispered, and I showed her all those signals you did, Mr. Lovins. Others, it's just like,
yeah. So I know we have another guest coming up, and the Oxygen Project is coming up. I love the fact that sometimes you could go to restaurants and they'll pair what type of wine you need to do with different things. Because there are a lot of things that we just didn't know. Like our grandparents did teach us. And luckily, we also had grandparents who knew these things. Grandparents today don't. Right, Sean?
Absolutely. No, absolutely. And, I used to work in the wine industry back in 97. Wine wasn't very popular in our community. We were drinking White Zinfandel, Arbor Mist, all the sweet stuff. I'm a chef too, but to learn to actually marry your food with your drink, the people didn't understand the food pairing process, and you see people still to this day, they'll drink a, Moscato with their steak. I'm like, no, that's not right. So,
and it's not saying, oh, you're doing it wrong. It's saying, hey, I can make you have a better experience.
Yes.
Absolutely. It's all about the experience. So I say to the parents, if you get an opportunity with a Mr. Lovings to your kids, get an opportunity, take that opportunity yourself and to receive the information. It's funny because, and it's just small things and no one's judging you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's not a judgment thing. It is about a learned thing, and it's about how we can be a better person or more improved person. No judgment at all. Because let me tell you something. We had one fork, and that was it.
That was it.
And my parents were open to me learning. I mean, I tell the story about the steak all the time. We were farmers. We had steak every day, all day. But my mother only knew one way to cook it, and that was until it was dead again. And so the first time I had a medium rare to rare steak was at a event, and I was like, he was like, order the steak. I was like, no, thank you. But when I tasted it, the experience. So parents, don't be afraid of your children getting an experience like Mr. Lovings is offering. How can people contact you, Mr. Lovings?
Well, you can actually reach me on my website, www.artofetiquette.net. I want to definitely share real quick, and somehow I wish I can come back on, but we
you can
later. I just did the launch of my business last Saturday. And for those who saw, I came in on a helicopter and all that cool stuff with the, just for the kids. And, they were all dressed up, they had on fedoras and, they got a lot of praise and they did a fantastic job. It was a flash mob that I was looking to do. So St. Louis, I am coming back in October and I'm going to present it from a standpoint where it's going to be free. And I want from 6 to 17 years old, bring your kids suited and booted, baby, because I want to do a huge flash mob of kids. It'll be on a Saturday. I'm working with some of the Black farmers. We're going to do a farm to table. Only a select 25 to 50 boys will be able to be a part of that. But for the most part, the flash mob that I want to do, I want to make an announcement that it's going to be free, and I want to open it up to the public. Just bring your kids 6 to 7 in a suit. In a suit. I get it that I don't have a shirt and tie, in a suit, because it's a look that we're looking for. And the most important thing, because my affirmation is confidence. And that's what etiquette really is about. At the end of the day, when you know how to do this, you're confident. Any and everywhere you go, you're confident that you know what to do. Because My daughter, who went to Jackson State as Miss Freshman, she was on the court, and she later said, "Dad, oh my God, what you taught, I actually remember, and the other kids didn't know what to do." Exactly. It was just going to be a time in your life that it was coming that you were going to have to use this. And she was so proud of herself that she remembered what to do. And that's what I'm saying. I just want to expose kids. I'm not the consummate, come in and have a seat. I know what to do, and I know how to teach you. All right.
So you promised us you'll come back in October, make the announcement, and we might have to come and just do the be on the grounds with y'all, because we love our young men.
That would be nice. As soon as I get the date, we got the confirmation of the month. I'm just waiting for the date. Once we get the date, because the 25 to 50 boys will actually get an agricultural experience with the farmers, where they're going to have to get in the farm, get in the fields.
I'm a farmer's daughter. I love it.
See, exactly. So they're going to teach them the agricultural way of how to do everything from farming, and then from farm to table. I'll be chefing, because I'm a chef also. I'll be cooking for the boys and preparing, and then they'll be setting the table, a long table. And so I want to do different cool things with these kids to build their confidence and let them know that it's okay to know this stuff,
Yeah, it is.
How can they purchase your book?
All right, my book is actually on Amazon. You could go on Amazon, Mind Your Manners with Mr. Lovings. You could purchase there. I wish I had my QR code, because I'd rather be purchased there.
Follow him on Facebook, Art of Etiquette. You all can follow him now. You can follow him after the show. And of course, we're going to put all of the links. As soon as he gets off, we'll put all of his links in the chat.
Awesome.
Okay. Confidence is your affirmation word. Yes. He's coming back on. We already y'all heard him say it. And we're gonna have some exclusives, because y'all know Lady Yo loves the exclusives. Wilda says, I would love to support a couple of the young men who may not have a suit to attend the event.
Love it, Wilda. I appreciate that. And we definitely that warms my heart. I appreciate that. You don't know, man, I had 1 million views with in Atlanta and didn't know what to do with it. So at the end of the day, definitely thank you for that. I appreciate that.
We'll connect you both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Michelle Robinson put the information in the chat, so y'all got it, and we're gonna keep it moving. Thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and I'll see you guys soon.
Yes. All right. See y'all. We got the tips coming in. We got the people coming in. Woo, Lady O. We're gonna be all right. We're
gonna be all right. Tracy, we have a dynamic young lady coming up, Talisa Holden. She's a newly appointed executive director of the Oxygen Project. Tracy, bring her on up so she can tell the world about what she is doing.
She's here.
Hello, ladies.
Thank you for being so patient with us. We're getting all the tea. We're getting everything. We're going to make sure that these kids all have all the resources that they need. They're going to look good on the outside. They're going to feel good on the inside. But before we get started, we have to ask you, what's in your cup? What are you sipping on?
I am sipping on ice water in the infamous Stanley cup.
Let me tell you something, honey. Stay hydrated. And I always tell people, I drink a ton of water every day. It can be in a glass, it can be in my Stanley, it can be in my OYN Now Show cup. Just stay hydrated, because we have work to do. Talk to us about your new appointment.
Yeah, so this was fully announced last Friday. As you introduced me, I am the newly executive director for the Oxygen Project, Yoga for Youth. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in St. Louis, Missouri. And essentially, our mission is to empower youth to face everyday stress and significant life challenges, and then with resilience and calm through yoga and mindfulness techniques. It is very important that we start to change the narrative around yoga and making yoga and mindfulness practices more accessible. We often, especially in our communities, our communities of color, we find it not affordable, not accessible, or that's not for us. that's not what we do type of thing. And so what our services are being provided, we are in the schools, right? A lot of our services are held within various St. Louis public schools and charter schools within the city and in the county. And we provide our sessions either on an 8-week basis or 15-week basis, just depending on how the school wants it to be set up and how many students we're serving. And so typically the sessions are during their advisory periods, and we have our instructors. We have a team of roughly about 10 to 15 yoga instructors that are trained. They are trauma informed trained to be to present the teaching and the practices from a trauma informed lens. And we work with the schools and making sure that these young people have that experience, right? And we also work with community organizations so that we can not only have this experience in the school setting, but outside of the school.
I want to stop you because you are doing a lot. And I think that people need to digest what this looks like. She's telling you all that you all offer these services in schools. Schools can contact you and get their kids. At what age does that start?
So our kids mostly are in middle school. But we do have some elementary schools. So the ones that are in elementary, our sessions are probably like 30 minutes or so, just because we know, that elementary age you're busy. But the middle school to high school age is more roughly around 45 minutes to an hour on each session.
I am in my late 50s. And when I was in school, I never heard of yoga. I only heard of it when I became an adult. And still it was like, oh, y'all gonna do some yoga, okay? But you know who brought it to me was my granddaughter. She could calm herself down. She could focus. And how do you get the parents to buy into yoga?
Yeah. So the buy-in comes from the kids experiencing it in school. So oftentimes when what we hear from the school is that, from the students when they come back for their next session is that, what, I taught my mom, I taught my dad this pose. And now we're working on this. They're working on it. And that's how the parents start to get in, with the buy-in. Seeing the kids, excitement to be in that space, to have a space where they are able to decompress, be centered, and be able to even connect with the different poses, and connecting those poses with how they're feeling at that moment in time. And then that just becomes a part of their routine, but also becomes a part of their conversation, their daily conversations within the school, but also at home as well.
Yeah. And conversation is big. I often say that about things that I was not exposed to. The conversation for the parents to just be open to, because normally we just have a conversation about sports or something like that. But yoga is something that the whole family can practice. Yeah. And it is amazing once the child learns those coping skills, how it helps them with homework, home life, and just being out into the world. So Tracy, you are very much a meditation person.
No, I love meditation, but I also know the value of social emotional learning and how that ties into our kids when we're talking about those factors. But what I wanted to know is, I think it's also important that it's not just an after school program, that it happens during school. Yes. And you all are in schools during school as well, correct?
Yes, we are actually in school during school hours. It's not, we do have after school programming, but our primary focus is during the school hours. And what I like about that is because our kids are experiencing, our youth and our kids are experiencing so much right now within the various environments that they are occupying, whether that be socially, economically, that impacts all of our mental health, not just as adults. And, we try to think that only adults get stressed. No, kids get stressed too, right? And so if we're not finding ways to be able to have them where they can express that in a safe and secure way, and be able for them to be able to even show and be able to navigate that stress and to alleviate that stress, then we're not really helping our kids. And so that's one thing I love about this organization, is that we are actually in the school setting, and a lot of stuff happens during the school day. Those kids are able to, they doing more than the woosah and the 1, 2, 3, right?
We
They
know.
may even be doing that, the follow-up activity that happens after the yoga session, right? So they are actually practicing those slow breathing techniques while, if they're having a moment, or even if they get a break on lunch and they're
Yeah.
able to, you know, do their yoga or even something from the session. So yeah.
Shalisa, talk to, because Lady O and I, we love all this kind of stuff. Like we already talked about, we're gonna get with Mr. Lovings and be there for the boys with the etiquette and work in the forms and stuff. But what if like we wanted to do like an OYN retreat, like a day retreat or an hour? Because you all do staff, you actually
Yes.
go to businesses as well, right?
Yes, so it's not only just our youth in the schools that are being able and being exposed to yoga and mindfulness. We will also have classes for the staff to learn yoga and be able to teach as well. But then we also have professional development opportunities for
Yes.
those who work with youth. If you are not, you don't have to technically be in the school, but if you are an organization or an individual that is actively working with youth, or just yourself, you can definitely reach out to us, and we have professional development classes to offer for that as well.
And speaking of reaching out, how can people reach out to you?
Yes, so our website is www.oxygenproject.org. My email is my first name, Shalisa, CHELESA, at oxygenproject.org.
Yes, I love that.
Thank you so much, because like I said, I wasn't exposed to yoga as a kid, but as an adult. And my granddaughter is teaching me a lot about yoga. And I can see how it has helped her and helped us. It's helped us to bond. So
Yeah.
I encourage parents, when your child comes home and says, I did yoga, don't say, what? Huh? Say, oh,
Right?
teach me. Tell me about it. And it can help the entire family. I have to ask you, what is your wellness word of the week?
My wellness word or affirmation of the week is going to be impact.
Impact. Yes. Talk to us about that.
I think with everything that's going on, we have to leave a mark. And it's not, it's not so much of what you say, but what you do and how you made someone feel that's always being remembered. And right now, I really feel like our youth need that. They are really looking and leaning on people such as myself and you ladies, as how did they make me feel? And not, it may seem so minute to us, but that how we made the youth feel gets them to the next day.
That's it. That's it. We want everybody to start dropping their affirmation words in the chat. We want to know your affirmation words too. That reminds me of Maya Angelou's quote that people will forget what you say and people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And it's something about being in touch with your feelings and being able to self-regulate. And the fact that you're making an impact, you have your own business. She not new to this field. Yeah, she ain't new to this. She true to this. Okay? So don't think that she looks young, and we always say when our young sisters come on, we're gonna be all right. You hear Lady O say all the time that we're gonna be all right. So we appreciate that. Everybody, we're looking for your affirmation words. Start dropping them in the chat now. Tell them again how they can find you, and if they want to, even if you have some instructors out there, because I know you're looking for some BIPOC instructors as well, how they can find you again.
Yeah, so on our website, there is at the top of the website, you can go to, if you're looking for teaching or training, there's a tab for you to apply to teach. There's also a tab that outlines our course details and how you can register. But then you can also submit an inquiry form and let us know it specifically, like down to like exactly what you're looking for. If no
Yes.
matter if it's a if it's school-based services or if it's within your organization. So yeah, you can find all of that information on our website, which is www.oxygenproject.org.
Thank you.
And I just want to personally say thank you so much because I chased you down.
I appreciate
I
will
saw the announcement. I said, "Oh, I said, Tracy, I gotta find this young lady." And thank you so much for answering the call and saying yes and offering the world the information about yoga, youth and yoga and the Oxygen Project. I thank you so much.
No,
Yeah.
thank you, ladies, for having me. It was really a pleasure and a joy.
Absolutely. We want to bring everybody back up really quickly. Buffy's coming back up as well. Because like the thing about it is when we talk about all the things that are happening in our community, all we know is we want everybody to be aware of them again.
Yes.
Ladies, what they're dropping their affirmation words. What is your affirmation word for today?
Assurance.
Assurance. Assurance. Okay.
You know, I hear the song Blessed Assurance.
Amen.
And seeing everyone on the screen today, I am assured that our young people are going to be equipped with everything they are going to need. Us as adults have to navigate that for them. It's here for you. The resources are here for you. We're not asking every parent to know everything. We're asking you to reach out to these resources so that you can have assurance and your kids can have assurance that this world will be theirs to navigate and theirs to live an abundant life. So my word is assurance.
That's it. That's it. Buffy, what was your word again?
I don't know, Buffy, is she frozen? She may not be able to hear us.
Do you remember Buffy's word? I think it was
Abundance.
Her word was abundance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Abundance. Okay.
Thank you, team.
Yes. I think my word today is going to be empowered, because we are only as good. You know, the EM in empower is we, and we're only as good as our community, and we have to make sure that we show up. I saw earlier when we call her Auntie Cynthia, when she said that exposure was key, and this is what we're all talking about, the value of exposure, right, Lady O? That's so critical.
Yes, absolutely. And I am the queen of telling people I grew up knowing the minimum only because that's all we knew. But my parents were so open to the exposure and to me learning. And it didn't diminish their parenthood. It didn't diminish their guidance. So I encourage parents to take hold of these resources to make your family stronger, to direct, and people change the trajectory of your family. It might not change the trajectory, but it will navigate the trajectory, and that will help us all to be better.
Well, I know we typically do the It's a Vibe. We want you all to know that we will be on August 11th at the Recreational Center. All the information will be in our chat. Lady O, is there any other things that are going on this weekend?
We have Make-A-Wish on August 8th at 7 o'clock. It's a charity music event at Forest Hill Country Club. And there's an Olympic watch party that is free at Keener Plaza on August 8th. So if you're looking for something to do, there's plenty of opportunity. If you want to see this lady and this lady, August 11th, and that lady, August 11th.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, speaking of the Olympics, there's a young guy, we're gonna try to get him on. His name is Freddie Crittenden, and he's from St. Louis. He went to school with my kids. We got a lot of people from St. Louis that are really amazing. And our own Dawn Harper Nelson, she's been on CNN, and she's been doing her thing with Olympics. So shout out to them as well. Well, as we continue to wrap up, I just want you all to know that today has just literally been an awesome experience for us to come together. We learned that It's all about an abundance of activities and resources in our community that we know that we all need to make sure that our kids have exposure. We always say that there's a difference between being cocky and being confident. And we want our young men to be confident in everything that they do. But we also want them to know that once they are confident, that they too can make an impact. And when you make an impact, then you know for a fact that you are more than just a necessity, that you have all the necessities that you need to contribute to everyone else. And this is how we do when we commence and come together. But you got to have the courage to step out there and do something new and learn something new. Because when we do this, we're able to stand up and be together and show the world what resilience looks like. I have the assurance, and so do you, that we will come together and have the understanding that we need to make sure that our families are giving all the resources that they need, and we will all be empowered. So we hope that you all continue to watch us every single Wednesday, because guess what, y'all? We are filling in the gaps, and we got so many different exclusives coming. Lady O, man, today was absolutely amazing, was it not?
It was, and I'm so glad we focused on our kids and going into the school year, and they are going to be magnificent.
They are. So until next time, we leave you with what?
Peace, love, and positivity.
And remember, tomorrow isn't promised. So own
your now. Salute.
I am unstoppable. Let me